Would you like to make your home look more expensive without breaking the bank? Well, in this video, we're diving into the 8 things that a homeowner can do to elevate the look of their home without breaking the bank. Before we dive into the video, as always, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel. I am striving to put out as much content as I possibly can. Help me support my dog's lifestyle. But enough of that, let's go ahead and dive back into today's video. Tip number 1 is going to be all about lighting. If you don't know by now, lighting makes all of the difference. Take a look around any high-end home and you're going to see layers of different lighting strategically placed. From recessed ceiling lights to strategically placed lamps, highlighting artwork. Depending on the setting of the room, you're going to see some warm lights, some brighter lights. Proper lighting is going to set the mood and it's going to highlight the best features of the home. Tip number 2 is going to be artwork. So let's go ahead and talk art. A sophisticated home is not cluttered, but carefully curated with statement pieces that draw the eye. Investing into larger artwork can simplify and essentially improve a room instantly, making it a focal point that captivates any visitor. Or you could also have a Lamborghini Countach hanging on the wall like my client does. Tip number 3 is going to be the art of layering. This isn't just about textures or anything like that. It's about positioning furniture to create an inviting space. So pull your sofas away from the wall, add various pillows, and decorate surfaces with intriguing books and other accessories to build depth and interest. Tip number 4 is going to be blending old and new to essentially go ahead and maximize the space in a very sophisticated way. Why? Because high-end doesn't always mean brand new. You can mix modern elements with antiques for a unique vibe. For instance, you can blend a vintage table with a contemporary lamp. This contrast tells a story. You could also add a layer of richness to your decor that new pieces alone can't necessarily do by themselves. Tip number 5 is not essential for everyone, but one of the key things that I've picked up from working with a lot of buyers as well is that your curtains and your blinds and your drapes make a difference actually. You wouldn't think so, but they do. When I'm walking through a home with buyers or especially tenants and there's no blinds or curtains or drapes or anything like that, they always ask about it and then they start talking about it. It's essentially what they want to do, which is good because I get that from the seller standpoint. You want them to be able to have the freedom and the creativity and you don't want to spend unnecessary money. But if you're in a room where essentially drapes or curtains or something like that would actually aid in the benefits, meaning that it would add more height and depth to the property and to the room, thus making it look more appealing, making it look more quote unquote expensive, then I recommend it. I'm all for that because essentially, even though a lot of buyers can see past that and you want them to have the creativity, you want to make sure that you're adding the depth and the height and maximizing every single room. And something small like curtains or drapes or anything else like that could be a perfect fit for achieving that. Tip number 6 is going to go into the bedroom and kind of staging as a whole. If you're leaving the property vacant, this isn't going to apply, but especially if you're leaving items of personal property behind, your own stuff, or you're staging the property, make sure especially things like your bed covers are nice. Make them more on the luxurious side of things because I know it sounds weird, but your pillows, your covers, your curtains, your blankets, all of those small things, when it comes to the materials, the colors that are used, these are all things that a buyer will notice. It's going to capture their attention and actually make them think that the home is more expensive just based off of those small details. Mind you, it's the mosquitoes that bite, not elephants, right? So it's those small details that are going to make the biggest difference sometimes, and that's fairly inexpensive. But rugs could actually blend space together. It could tie a room together perfectly. It could essentially make up some dead space or essentially just give the right vibe, feel, etc. to a property and actually make it feel and look more expensive just off of that small detail. Tip number 7 is going to be optional but recommended because you may see a higher return of investment. And this is just simply going to be upgrading various of aspects that are in the kitchen, bathroom, and the home. Small little details that have a big impact. Like for instance, how can we make your home look more expensive on a budget? Well, we could essentially paint. We could update some of the appliances. Of course, the lighting, as mentioned earlier, But we could also look at the floors. If the carpet that you have currently is old and dated, essentially let's go ahead and rip that out. We could look at luxury oak, but at the same time we could look at something like vinyl, which could be very effective and won't break the bank. We'll look at the bathrooms to essentially see how we could update things like the faucets. We could essentially rip out the toilet and replace that, see what we could do to essentially give a facelift throughout the property, repaint the property, things that do not require permits. But at the same time, things that are going to be small changes, but have a huge impact, but again, without breaking the bank. Last but not least is tip number 8, and this is gonna be the scent of your property and the overall experience. You do not wanna walk into a property and smell a god-awful scent that you think maybe there's a dead rat under the house, or something died and essentially is laying in the property, or the trash cans haven't been cleaned out in a month. I've been in that situation, and I promise you, the home could be absolutely gorgeous, but at milliseconds, you could literally turn off a buyer or a tenant just because of the property smelling like trash. Don't let the property smell like trash. So one of the key things is, of course, have it deep cleaned. That's a given. If you're having trash cans inside of the garage, do have the trash cans cleaned or order new ones, either or. If they're old, get new ones. It's easy to be able to do, and there's no excuse not to, in my personal opinion. But besides the point, make sure that if you have anything within the house that is just like a bad scent, bad smell, that you go ahead and get that cleared out as well. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to check out the other videos. I do educational content. I'm doing interviews. I also do home tours. And of course, I promote the properties that I have listed, properties that I sold, leased, etc. And as always, if you need help with anything real estate related, go ahead and contact me at 949-405-4455. Hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. As you know it, I'm putting out content to be able to help buyers, sellers, landlords, and tenants. So, and basically to support my dog's lifestyle. Help me support my dog's lifestyle. Cheers.